Guys, Debbie here. Today's video is going to be a get ready with me. Just going to be super chill, just having a bit of a chat with you guys. Not sure how much I'm going to be talking about the makeup in this one. Maybe just a little bit more of a life update. Bit of both, I think. I'll probably talk a little bit of the makeup things as I'm going along, but there's nothing really too much that's new in this video. The only thing I'm going to be showing you that's new to me in this one is this, which is the Carli Bybel palette from Anastasia that I picked up in the Black Friday sales. Not used it yet, so I'm excited to do so. Just going to create something soft and a bit more neutral and not too complicated today. It's more just about just getting on camera and just having a bit of a chat with you guys. It's been a little while since I've done a get ready with me. So grab your makeup or just sit down and relax, grab a drink and a snack, and let's just jump straight into it. Okay guys, I've done my moisturiser, my LMS Pro Collagen. That's the one thing that I do like to use under my makeup. And I've not done anything else, so I've got a completely bare face today. And I'm going to go in with this, which is the Born This Way foundation from Too Faced. And I've been enjoying this one again lately. It's really old, I've had it a couple of years, but it still seems to be fine, and I'm just trying to use it up. So we're going to do that. I'm going to go back to using a kabuki brush today. I've been using a sponge for quite a while, but decided to use this F80 by Sigma again because it's been a while. So I thought it might be fun to try that out again today. And the only thing I don't like about this foundation is that it's pretty yellow toned, but I can kind of make it work once I've got all my other face products on. I think it's quite a nice coverage, not too heavy a coverage, but enough, and yeah, I quite like it, to be honest. My one is in the shade Snow. I think there is an even paler shade that will probably suit my paler skin a lot better now. So if this one ever runs out, it seems to have lasted forever, then I'll probably buy that one. So how have you guys been? What have you been up to? I've not been doing a great deal because the UK is still in full lockdown and we don't really know when we're coming out of it. I think next week they're gonna give us a bit more of a update on what's going on. The vaccine rollout is going really well, and they think that everybody's going to be vaccinated by the summer now, so hopefully that means life will start to go back to normal. But I'm kind of like a little bit nervous about things going back to normal. I've gotten so used to just not seeing anyone and going anywhere. I think I've become a bit of a hermit. Even if we could go out, I don't know whether I want to now. It's really weird. But I've literally not been doing anything because I work from home, so I've just been sitting at my computer desk all day, and I've not been going out walking because I hurt my toe last year. It's like October, and I thought I'd just sprained it, but it just keeps swelling up every time I walk. So I've kept off of it for a month now, and it is finally healing. So I think it was broken, but it's only like the toe that's next to my big toe, so it's nothing that would stop me walking or that's that serious. I don't think they would do anything if you went to A&E anyway, but I certainly don't want to go there while there's a pandemic on. So yeah, so I've not been going out and doing my walking, and it's really like made a difference to how I'm feeling inside. Like I really need to exercise to like feel cheerful. It just releases those endorphins, give you some time to yourself, and I think it's so important. I love how that's covered. I think that looks really nice actually with the brush. I'm going to go in with the concealer to match this one. Again, it's in Snow. In the absence of being able to walk, I had a couple of weeks not doing anything other than just working, and got very, very depressed, to be honest, and I was quite scared about how low I was feeling. I was dragging myself through every day. I didn't want to get up in the mornings, really, really feeling bad. And so I was like, I've got to do something about this. So I started to look for some workout videos to do that I could do. I don't have to put too much pressure on my toe, like things on the mats and that. I've got a yoga mat from years ago. I've never been very flexible though. So started doing just some really low impact stretching and dumbbell exercises. Going back to sort of my 30s and 40s, I was a proper gym bunny, and I used to have a personal trainer, and I used to go to the gym every morning. I had my personal trainer once a week or once a fortnight sometimes, depending on when I could afford it. but I hired him because I'd got problems with my back. I just injured my back, but it was taking forever to get better, and he taught me a lot of techniques to like improve my posture. I'm very tall, I'm 5'11", so I end up hunching over a little bit sometimes, and that affects my posture. So he sorted out a lot of like what he called the firing pattern, like what muscles you need to use when you're standing, like clenching to stand and not pulling from your back, and got me back into exercise. And I exercised for a very, very long time. And then I've told the story before, but I had an accident at a Christmas party, and this was nearly 4 years ago now, or 3 years ago, and I shattered my elbow, and I'm fully better from that, but it stopped me from being able to lift weight for quite a long time, and it made me very nervous to run for some reason, because I just kept thinking I would fall. I've got the Too Faced powder that matches the Born This Way one, so I think we may as well use that to set my face today. I've not used this in a long time actually, and there's tons of product left in here, so it's nice rediscovering some of my older products in my collection. I'm enjoying doing so. I just want to set my under eyes with that. I will set more of my face, but I want to go in with a cream bronzer, so I'm going to try not to set everywhere like I normally do, and then I forget. Yeah, so was I. So that kind of stopped me wanting to run or to lift any weight, and sort of slowly but surely I stopped going to the gym nearly so much. And then if I did go, I used to love swimming, and our local gym had a really nice pool, and also just relaxing in the sauna and the jacuzzi and the steam room. It had really good facilities at the gym that I go to, but again with the pandemic I just haven't been brave enough to go even when it's been open. Just going to use a bit of this Milk Makeup bronze stick. Getting a bit braver with this and just going in straight from the tube now, because it does blend out really, really easily. So I'm just using the contour brush by Real Techniques just to blend that in. And it does blend quite well. Just takes a little while, but it does look quite natural once you've got it blended out. Yeah, so I've been paying for the gym for the last year, but I've not been going. So walking was really like the only thing I was doing, but I was walking 5 or 6 miles every day. And as I say, this toe just kept swelling up, and I was hobbling around in between walks, and I was like, I've just got to keep off of it until it gets better. So I think I did this, I just bashed it on the door as I was walking from the back garden. I got bare feet and I just knocked it. I didn't think it was that serious, and that was like at the end of September. But I think if you don't keep off of an injury, you just keep compounding it. So anyway, so I've had 4 weeks pretty much now of not going anywhere, doing anything, which wasn't very good on my mental health at all. But then I've started to do all these at-home workouts and really been enjoying it, guys, really enjoying it. I've been doing, or started off trying to do the yoga with Adrian. I don't know if you guys know of Adrian, but it's too advanced for me. I can't do things like the downward dog because of my back, and I've got no flexibility whatsoever. I can't touch my toes. I can just barely get past my knees. I've always been bad with that. Just going to go in with a really old favourite now. I'm going to go in with a Hoola Lite bronzer from Benefit. So I started to just look for videos that were like low impact exercises for beginners, and also stretching as well, like stretching for complete beginners. And I found a couple of girls. I've been following this channel called Psyche Truth, and on there's lots of yoga kind of based content, and there's lots of different instructors that are doing that. So I found this one particular girl, Nico Vera, she's brilliant. And so yeah, I've been following her routines and really enjoying it. Just gonna set the rest of my face now. I've got that bronzer down, but I really wanted to use that today because I really like how it looks. It's really natural. I've already started to notice quite a lot of gains in terms of like how far I can stretch already, and I've only been doing this for a couple of weeks. So I've been doing it every morning, which means I haven't really had the time to film because that's when I'd normally do my filming, but I think it's been good for me to do something else for a bit, you know, not always be either working or filming. So sorry that you're not getting quite as much content, but I think it was very much needed for me and my mental health to like just find some other things that I enjoy besides makeup. And that's something else I've been doing as well, is not consuming so much makeup content either. I want a Too Faced kick today. I'm going to go in with the Strobeberry blush duo, and I want to use the pinky side of that, so that side. This is a really nice blush actually, it's really pretty. It's quite subtle, but it's still really, really pretty and quite sparkly on the cheeks. I really like it. So I've not been watching hardly any makeup YouTube, which has meant that I've not been tempted to buy any makeup. I think probably shouldn't be saying this to you guys, as I want you to watch my channel, but the more makeup content you consume, the more you want to buy things. So I've been trying very hard to avoid it and start doing other things. So I've been watching lots of TV. We've been finding some old drama series. I love kind of police procedural kind of crime series, and so we've been watching a series called The Bay that's on ITV if you're in the UK. That's really good. And Unforgotten, which is like a police thing where they're looking into old crimes from the past, and like some of them, the first one is from the 1970s. They found like the body, well, like the bones, and they're trying to find out who it is and look into it, but there's lots of different characters and you don't know how they're connected, and it's 6 parts and eventually it all comes together, and I love things like that. So we've been watching that, and I've also signed up to Disney Plus as well, so not really watched too much on it yet. I've only just done it, but I'll finally be able to watch The Mandalorian, which I'm really excited about, and also all the Disney Pixar movies like Soul and Onward. I'm really excited to see those. I'm a big kid and I love movies like that. Right, for highlight today, I'm going to go in with a Supreme Frost from Jeffree Star. This is Diamond Wet. And for these highlighters, I always like using a natural hair kind of highlight brush. Such a nice formula though, this. And this is probably one of the best ones in a way, because it's got that just champagne tone, so you can wear it literally over anything. But once it's on the cheeks and blended in, it's really got some sparkle, but it's almost like a wetness to it. I don't know if you can see, it's so good. And I haven't been using my Jeffree Star products because of the controversy surrounding him, and I don't know how you guys feel about all of that, but honestly, I've spent my money on it. I only wear makeup when I'm filming, so I'm going to start using my Jeffree Star products on camera, and if you guys don't like that, then I guess you don't have to watch me, but to me it's just makeup, and he's got some really good products, and I've always really enjoyed the brand, so yeah, I'm going to be using Jeffree Star on my channel now, so up to you guys if you're still with me after that or not. Obviously not in every video, but here and there I'm going to use the products that I have, particularly ones that are as good as this, that are just sitting in my drawer and I'm not getting the use out of. That looks really nice. On the topic of Jeffree Star, did you see he's got a 3-year anniversary kind of collection for the Blood Sugar palette? I'm quite excited for that, so might be tempted to pick up the Skin Frost Pro palette. It's got some beautiful kind of glowy blush colours in there. So that's the only thing that's really tempted me recently, I think. Right, just going to go in and do brows. And for brows, I always use my Infinity palette from Hallberg. Look at the pan on that. It's not often that any of my products get pan like that. But to be honest, I use this every time I do my brows, and it's still got tons of product in it. It really makes you realise how far products will go and how difficult it is to use something up. That's something I've definitely learnt from being on this no buy. Well, I say no buy, it's kind of a low buy really. So I'm tempted to pick up that Skin Frost Pro palette just because they're the Skin Frost formula, but as I say, there's a particular colour in there, like a corally orangey colour, looks absolutely stunning. So yeah, tempted for that. There's a little Blood Sugar palette. I don't need that because I've got the Blood Sugar, but I'm a real collector, and he's bringing out a Blood Sugar palette but with reverse of the packaging. So the packaging is red at the moment, like a red doctor's kind of case with white writing, and it's going to be white case with red writing, and it's just for the collector really, but I am kind of tempted, but it's ridiculous because I know it'd just sit there, so I probably won't get it, but yeah, I'm excited to see him do something around that. It's my favourite really, if I'm completely honest. I like that one and like the Jawbreaker more than any that he's done. But I have been tempted to buy a couple of things, and it was while I was feeling a little bit down, but kind of treated myself for Valentine's Day, as I would say. It was just before then, but I got the Pat McGrath Mothership 8, the Divine Rose 2 in the pink packaging. So would you guys like to see a video on that? I know it's a really old palette now, like it came out last year, but I couldn't pass up the chance of getting the pink packaging, so I really wanted it. So I picked that up when it re-released again. I didn't get the pink quad, you know, the Eden quad, because I didn't think that added anything really to my collection, but really wanted to try that duochrome shade that's in the Divine Rose 2, so I got that. And then just after I'd done that, Pat McGrath had a 25% off of the whole site sale, but luckily for me the Divine Rose products, the new ones, weren't in that, because that would have been super annoying. But I got 10% off of the Divine Rose 2, and then the 25% was on, and I managed to pick up the Mothership palette that I've wanted the most for quite a long time, which is the first one, the Subliminal, which is cool tone blues, silvers and greys, which is not normally what I go for, but I don't have too much cool tones, and I think it's different to the other Pat McGrath palettes that I own. So I've got the Subversive, I've got the Bronze Seduction, I'll have the Divine Rose, and I'll have the Subliminal. So I think I've got a good selection of colours there without too many repeats. But I picked that one up for 25% off, so a bit of a bargain there at £88. I mean, still a hell of a lot of money, but it's a bargain for Pat McGrath, of course. And you guys might know, if you've been here before, how much I'm really enjoying Pat McGrath. And I think another thing with doing what I've been calling a no-buy, I guess it's a low buy with no rules really, is that I've not been buying everything and anything. I've really been thinking things through. Like, I've wanted that Subliminal palette for about a year now, so being able to pick it up with 25% off just made sense. I'm not just jumping into every new release and getting it to review it, because I know that I won't get round to reviewing things in time, and I'm being really conscious about everything I'm spending, which is allowing me to do other things. Like, as I say, I've now signed up to Disney Plus. I just paid in full for that for the year, but it's just nice to have the cash to be able to do other things. So I think it was a good decision for me, and I'm going to carry on with my no buy / low buy at least until Black Friday. So not going to be buying too much this year, but I've got so much still to use that I've not shown you. I think in terms of using things, I just like to do what I actually am in the mood to use on that particular day without having a plan as well. And when I was reviewing new products, I just felt like I've got to do that, and it's just nice to, yeah, just play with what I want to. So we're going to go in with the Carli Bybel palette, which you guys might be surprised that I picked up, but I picked it up at the same time as the Jackie Aina palette. They were doing like a deal that you could get a case for it to go in, like a glittery case, and you got 50% off the second palette, so it was a good deal for me. It's got really beautiful colours actually, so I want to play with this purpley colour. I definitely want to play with the red, I mean, come on, you know me, but yeah, I think that purpley shade, and maybe that duochrome could look nice in the inner corner, so that's kind of my idea, but I don't want to do anything too crazy, as I say, today. So the other thing I've been looking at is to buy myself a Nintendo Switch. Do you guys have one? I want something that kind of takes my mind off of things. I was getting so obsessed with like looking at the news or worrying about work, or I need something to just get absorbed in, which makeup does do that for me as well, but just something different to do. And I think I've been looking at all the reviews for Animal Crossing, and I think that's definitely like something that you could get absorbed in, and just like maybe in my lunch hours from work, because as I say I'm at home, that I could just switch off from work for an hour and just play that. And yeah, just have a bit of me time. So the only problem is in the UK, they're pretty much sold out everywhere, and if you want to pay ridiculous prices on Amazon that's been loaded by another £100, you can get them, but I'm not doing that. So I think it's going to be a while till they come in stock at an affordable price. But do you guys have Animal Crossing? Is it worth me picking up? Is it worth me getting a Switch? I was looking at that Ring Fit adventure as well. I think that looks super fun. To do some exercise as well as like playing games looks a lot of fun to me. I'm going to start off the look with that shade Bybel. It's been so long since I've used Anastasia shadows, I've forgotten quite how kick-uppy they are. I love them though, but they're not the easiest to work with, I don't think. I think they have lots of fallout and lots of kick-up in the pan. But they're super pigmented and really beautiful. So I'm just taking that through my crease for a little bit of definition really. And I'm using the Anastasia brush because I really like the Anastasia brushes. Particularly like the packing side of them for the lower lash line. I'm trying to keep you guys a little bit further back because I've noticed how much I've been going in and out of focus when I'm too close. So I'm hoping this will be better because for some reason my camera just wants to focus on my hand all the time when my face is right close to the camera. And I only use the little screen that kind of pops up from the camera itself. So I can't see that I'm out of focus until I go to edit, and it's so annoying. And I've tried lots of different settings on it to try and stop it doing that. I just can't figure it out. Because I like to have a bit of a bokeh background, you know, a bit of blur. But I've even tried to take that down a notch or two so I don't go out of focus, and I still do. So if this video is out of focus when I come to edit it, I'll be super annoyed because I've gone back quite a way. And I'm hoping it's going to be alright. I'll try so hard to get the quality good for you guys, and just for me as well because I'm such a perfectionist and I want it to look nice. I really like that shade. It's got that kind of cool tone to it that I really enjoy. I like warm tones, but I really do enjoy cool tones at the moment. It's blending like a dream, it's beautiful. So what have you guys been up to? That's what I want to know. I want you to drop something down in the comments. Let me know in lockdown, what have you been up to? What else could I be doing if I'm not leaving the house? Because this thing could be going on for another couple of months yet before we get released to be able to do the things I love to do. What I love to do is meet my friend for coffee and mooch around the shops trying clothes on and just have a giggle with her. I like going to the cinema. We like eating out. All of those things I've just missed so much. You know, I'm not a party girl anymore. I used to be. But just those things, just socialising with one or two people. I'm not a big person for having a big group of friends, but just getting together with a friend and just having a proper good gossip and a catch up. Yeah, I've really missed that, and I didn't think I would because I'm quite an introvert, but I have now. I'm going to go with Stev, I think that's how you say it, S-T-E-V, Stev, it's going to be Stev I think, and a Morphe M508, and I'm just going to tuck that in the crease and the outer corner, just to almost bring a little bit of pink red to the look, because why not? That's a pretty shade, it's kind of a muted red. That's what appealed to me about this palette, because I don't have a neutral palette but with like a pop of red like this, and I really like the soft tones in it. People don't talk much about Anastasia so much these days. I've not had any new releases, have they? So that's why, but yeah, I really enjoy my Anastasia palettes. I think my favourite is the Alyssa Edwards one, but or maybe the Subculture, but there's a couple of dud shades in my Subculture, like the electric and cube shades of Hard Pan really badly. And I'm really liking this. Sort of red without being like overpowering red. I like how it's playing off that cool tone shade. As I say, not doing anything complicated, so I'm just putting it in my outer corner and then just bringing it through my crease really. I need to just bring it up a little bit higher so you can see it above the crease of my eye there. I'm just going to take that Bybel shade a little bit higher as well. Kind of weird shades to blend together, but I quite like how it's working. Everybody's so worried about like muddying a shade up. I quite like it when things become muddy and grungy. Yeah, so just doing that bit of exercise and taking some time for me to like do other things. I've been reading as well, which I never do. I found a book, it's a bit like a Thelma and Louise kind of story, but it's really good. A lot of escapism to that, so I've been reading that just as my last hour before I go to sleep every night, and been really enjoying that. Just doing some self-care really, doing some things that I enjoy to do. I'm going to take that Bear shade and just use that as a brow bone highlight. I quite like a matte brow bone highlight sometimes. I always use this massive brush to do this, I don't know why, but it's my favourite brow bone highlight. I think it's because it comes like into a little bit of a point there. This one's by Sigma, it's the E60. Right, I'm going to start bringing some of that Bybel shade onto the lower lash line. But I think I'll take a light wash of that, and then I'll do pretty much what I've done on the upper lids, using the red, tuck that in quite close to my lashes. So I'm going to turn the Anastasia brush around and use the other side of it and just tuck that red really close. I love the mix of that red with the cool tone brown though, I think that's worked really well. I really want to try this shade OA, I think it is, that one. So I'm going to go in with NYX Glitter Primer, give it its best shot at being sparkly. And my concealer brush, E70, is it E70 or F70? F70 from Sigma. I'm going to tuck that right into my crease. Okay, so we're going in with that OA shade. I'm going to use the brush that's got a bit of glitter primer on it, and I'm just going to lay that next to that red. Wow, that's got so much sparkle in it, that's so pretty. Oh, that shade's so stunning. I really do love Anastasia shimmers, I think they're so beautiful. I think they've come a long way in the more recent palettes, as I say, in that Subculture palette they hard panned really easily, but then in the soft glam they're really really good, and in the sultry, yeah, I really like that, that's so pretty. Just giving a bit of depth to things as well. Taking that slightly up into my crease. I'm trying to fade it into that red, but it's not really the right colour to fade into that red. Just wondering about taking a bit of Aura, which is that one, and packing that next to it, kind of to blend in with that red. I think that might work. Just slightly on the edge there. Yeah, that's just giving us a little bit of a blend into that red. OA shade a bit further across my lid. It's such a pretty shade. I want it to be the focus. It's got like little pinky sparkles and blue sparkles. Very multi-dimensional. I'm having so much fun with this palette, and I didn't expect I would. I only got it really because I'm such a completionist and I've got most of the Anastasia palettes, and I wanted to get two so that I could get that deal, and this was one of the ones I didn't have. So I was going to use Mandala, that duochrome, as an inner corner highlight, but I think I'm going to take that over the majority of my lid now, the rest of my lid here. And this has got a sort of pinky red base and the bluey purple, so I think it will work with it. It's more like a satiny duochrome, but it is really pretty. It's not as stand out as that OA shade though. In the very inner corner here, I'm going to take the shade Bolly, this one, and I'm going to take that onto my lower lash line as well. That's quite a subtle shade, but it's adding a little bit of brightness there, and I think that's definitely got a place in the palette. Right, so that's the look to this point. Just going to hop off camera. I'm going to put Grey Core by Linda Hallberg in my waterline. I'm going to create a little mini wing with that as well. and do my lipstick and mascara, and I'll be back with you to show you the finished look and finish up the video. Okay guys, so here's the finished look. Really happy with how it turned out. I'm really impressed with this palette. It's a lot more beautiful than you might first think. Like if you see videos on it, it looks quite neutral. It doesn't look too much interest, and then when you really look at it up close, there's some really special shimmers in here. That OA is worth the price of the palette for me. I haven't got anything like that in my collection. It's got multi kind of coloured glitters in it, really fine glitters, very different shades in it. It's grey and smoky, but it's still sparkly and pretty. I just think it's so beautiful. Love a red, of course, but it's an unusual red, and mixed with that Bybel, it's kind of softer than your usual red, but it's still got that red tone to it. Yeah, really enjoyed using this. I think you could do some, you know, just standard red kind of and gold kind of looks with this. You could do a lot more neutral kind of everyday staple looks with this. You've got some cool and warm in here. You know, if you went in with that brown and just say that Libra shade on the lid, that'd be super easy. There's lots you could do with it. And to finish off the look, as I say, I just used Grey Core by Hallberg in my lower lash line and then on my upper lid, but just from about the centre of it, and then just created a little mini wing. I wanted to use grey to keep things nice and soft and to kind of echo that OA shade a little bit. And then on my lips, I've got a melt lipstick. This one's Pink Heels. This is a long-term favourite in my collection, one of my favourites from them. And I love their bullet lipstick formula so much. I know a lot of people don't, but it's the taste and the smell of it. It's like candy. It's gorgeous. They last pretty well. They go on really smooth. They're kind of not too drying for a bullet lipstick either. Like I sometimes find some of them drag on my lips when I try and use a bullet lipstick, but these don't at all. So I really enjoy them. And I've got most of the shades. I think I've got 15 shades of those melt lipsticks now. But yeah, really enjoyed creating this one. I know I said I was going to be super chatty and tell you lots of things. There's not a great deal to tell you, as I say. I've been in lockdown. I've not been doing very much at all. Did have a bit of a Zoom call with my best friend. That was so much fun. So if you guys are missing anyone, hook up on Zoom. It gives you that extra element of like being able to see somebody. We've only been catching up by phone, but this felt so much better. I was able to show all the new stuff I bought for my YouTube filming setup, which trying to describe it you can't, and then I was able to like pan around and show everything in the room. And I know it's nothing revolutionary and everyone's been using Zoom for ages, but I just hadn't used it. So yeah, that's definitely cheered me up. And doing lots of exercise, just taking time for a bit of self-care every day. And when I say exercise, not leaping around kind of aerobic exercise, but more mat work and stretching and yoga, and just a bit of time for me that makes me feel like I'm investing in myself and doing something good for me that's not stressing me out and that is allowing me to become calm. That's what's been getting me through this. So, and just, you know, doing my makeup when I feel like doing it, which is what I wanted to do today. So I really hope you guys are doing okay. This has been going on for so long now in the UK. I mean, I don't know what it's like in other countries. I think you guys have got a bit more freedom perhaps in the US. You'll have to let me know. I'd love to know. But for us here, we're only allowed to go out for set purposes. So for exercise once a day, for medical purposes, for work if we can't work from home. It's been quite challenging. All of the shops, coffee shops, restaurants, everything have been shut since the beginning of the year. So now we're sort of 2 months into it. You know, the isolation is quite difficult, I think, and just missing normal life. You know, we're nearly a year into this situation now. So I think it is getting harder as time goes by. But also kind of scary that it might all go back to normal, and I don't know how to pick up normal life in a way, but I'm sure I'll get back into it as soon as I get into those shops and see my friends again. But thank you so much for watching this video. It rambled on. I don't really know where it went or what you might have gotten out of it, but sometimes I just want to sit down on camera and just spill out some feelings, and it helps me to sort of share them with you guys. So let me know how you've been feeling as well. And if you're new to my channel, this is your first video of mine, then welcome. I hope you might consider subscribing before you go. Other than that, guys, hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.